Yon! What's up mga ka-Investa and good evening and welcome back to, I think this is our third or fourth week straight of having another live charting session. So guys, good evening to all our early birds, first comers. Guys, pa-comment na lang if clear yung boses ko, if walang background noise, if clear yung background music, di masyadong malakas. Diba? So our agenda for tonight, of course, is to try and see if we can look for opportunities in different markets, right? Crypto, PSE US, and we'll also be doing a little bit of Forex today. And we're going to be having a very quick learning session sometime in the middle of the charting session. And we're going to be discussing about trading workflows or what our process is as we lead up to a trade, how we manage a trade, and how we exit a trade. And of course, as with every week, I am not alone. First, pasok ko muna yung teammate ko, of course, si Bro Bear. Yo. Bear, good evening, sir.
Hello. Good evening. Kamusta? Yun, okay, welcome naman to our live charting session.
Yun. And of course, our special guest for this week, you guys may know him, right? From social media, TikTok, YouTube, of course, si Bro, Trader Chaos. I hope I pronounced that correct. Did I pronounce that correct?
It's fine. Krios.
What's up, bro?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Yun. So, bro, for the benefit of those who may be seeing you for the first time or ngayon lang nakasama sa live charting session, markets primarily trade mo and ano ginagawa mo other than trading?
Alright. Hi guys, I'm Trader Krios. So I mostly trade the Forex and crypto markets, though I've traded PSE in the past and I'm glad I left it. I actually currently a computer science student, 4th year in UP Diliman. So I do coding when I'm not really busy trading, especially nowadays since markets are not really exciting. So ayun.
Yo, nice. So, ayun, we'll be going over again the major markets. And since si Bro Jed primarily trades, one of the markets he trades is yung Forex. We'll also be doing a few Forex picks. So if you guys have any Forex requests, feel free to comment them down below. So siguro bago natin start with the PSE as usual, Ben. So whenever you're ready, you can share your screen. Siguro onting kamusta muna, kamusta yung weekend natin, ano ba yung ginawa natin this week? Siguro start tayo sa'yo, Ben. Ano ba, besides sa ass to grass sa squat mo, napakabigat, ano ba yung ginawa mo?
Ayun, actually galing ako Alabang sa South this weekend. So may mga dineliver ako mga pusa. So aside from trading, may cattery din kami, diba? So, nakabenta kami ng pusa and stuff. Hinatid namin Pasig, then may mga errands akong ginawa and stuff. So, around BF, may need gawin and Tignan. So, ayun, mainly nasa Alabang lang ako. And I bonded with my family dun sa Alabang. Then, ayun, balik agad sa Saturday. Tapos, ayun, linis ng bahay, do general cleaning and stuff. Bond with family. Yun, pretty much it. Yun. And then kanina, nag-chart ako konti.
Yun, nice. Ikaw, Bro Jed, ano ginawa mo this weekend?
So currently, I'm just working on my startup. So I'm trying to do a financial crypto dashboard. So I just spent the entire weekend coding that and hopefully release soon. Yun lang.
Yun, nice. Ako, what I did this weekend.
Sige, go.
Ako, kahapon galing ako sa bundok. Yun na, buong araw ako tumatakbo sa bundok. So, 25 kilometers, 1,600 na elevation. So, for context, yung Tagaytay, galing sa pinakababa ng Aguinaldo Highway, paakyat, 800 yung elevation nun. Tapos nakabike ako nun. So, para akong tumakbo paakyat ng Tagaytay 2 beses on foot. Pero sa bundok. Yun. Tapos, mga 6 hours ko tiniram. Medyo nakakapagod. Actually, bro.
Saan bundok yan? Saan bundok?
Talaga. Sa Wawa, Rizal. Parang tumawid kami ng 4 na bundok. Tapos nakadating kami sa river. Nakita yung video ko sumisigaw doon na parang ewan. Yun yung river. Tapos yung tinakbo namin papunta, yun din yung tinakbo namin pabalik. And then yun. Tapos today, nagpahinga lang, nag-chart, nagtrabaho na onte, did some stuff for the Investa Summit. And then, now we're here sa charting session. Ayun. So, game. Siguro now, we can start talking about yung mga major markets natin. Bear, whenever you're ready, you can share your screen. And guys, feel free to comment down below your PSE, crypto, and US and even Forex picks as well.
Yeah,
So,
sige,
mga
wait
France ka
lang.
ngayon, bro, Jed.
I-share screen lang ako. Share screen lang ako.
Yun. Shout out kina Cherry. Ramil.
Yan, kita na ba? Naka-screen share.
Teka lang. Oops. Teka lang. Ayusin ko lang yun. Okay. Ayan.
Okay, so let's start with PSE, no? So, index natin, as usual, no? Ala talaga, no? Nandito tayo sa support area na 6.1, 6K. Then, tingin ko, high probability, baka mag-breakdown yan from 6.1, no? Then, 6K yung next support or probably, baka dito sa 5.8 gap na yan. No? 5.8 gap. So, basically, kung titignan natin yung chart talaga, EMA 50, yan yung isa sa main indicators na tinitignan natin to gauge yung kung sino ba yung dominant, buyers ba or sellers. So, this tells us na sloping downward pa rin yung EMA 50 and prices below it. Essentially, dictating na in the intermediate term, dominant pa rin yung sellers. So yun, recently, in-announce ata nung Wednesday or Tuesday, inflation rate, Philippines, 5.3. No? 5.3%. So laki ng jump and walang improvements talaga. Bigas, mahal, dapat 20 pesos lang, di ba? Or whatever. Yun, di ko alam. Pero, syempre, sa ating mga middle class up or even yung mga upper class, hindi mo ramdam yan. Pero yung mga lower class and yung mga nasa sa mababang level talaga, yan yung mga naapektan. Yan, anyway, higher inflation rate, most likely, yung magiging stance ng BSP is taas ulit yung interest rates or wala masyadong action. No rate cuts. Mas mahirapan sila mag-rate cuts. Essentially, draining liquidity pa rin sa financial markets and in the economy para to fight inflation. Yun. Anyway, ano yung other charts na need natin tignan? Sige, let's move forward sa financials. Then, let's move forward sa mga sectors, no? Sa Philippine sectors. So, financials currently dropping below this channel. So, alanganin na rin kahit yung strongest sector natin in the Philippine market. So, versus other sectors, no? Ito lang yung nakikita nating nag-uptrend this 2023, even mid-2022. So, holdings, industrials, wala din. Mining, olats din. Property, even. Hovering below this support level. If it breaks below 2.4, then alanganin. Same with services. Nasa medyo alanganin na market structure siya. Financials, currently, alanganin na rin. So, in general, Philippine market, risk off talaga. Yun. Sige.
Yun. I think another thing we can look at pagdating sa Philippine market, no, is yung strength of the dollar. Recently, umabot ng 57, no? So, bro, Jed, maybe we can get your insights here, no? Pagdating sa dollar. Bakit ba ang lakas? And then, after your comments there, can you share with yung audience, bakit ba dapat bantayan din yung dollar, right? As a maybe a Philippine stock trader, why is it important to keep an eye on this?
For the dollar, I think my current bias is it's really gonna go higher until that yung swing point, so resistance. So there's definitely a higher chance of hitting that talaga. And with regards to looking at the dollar compared to other markets, there's some correlations kasi that we can observe, especially in the forex market. So for example, dollars going higher, so we might expect bearish sa Euro USD and GBP USD, and same sa Philippine markets, right? So parang most of the time, meron silang inverse correlation. So parang if you can't determine a proper bias in PSE, maybe look for the dollar for a bias and then just inverse that. So generally just a guide talaga for the macro at this position that we're trying to take.
Yun, right. Thanks, bro, Jed. So, Bear, if you have any comments pa rin sa dollar, if not, we can proceed sa US market.
Yun, actually, same sentiment with kay Jed, kay Trader Krios. So, I think baka mag-move toward 108 pa yan, or hopefully hindi naman mag 112. Baka pag mangyari yun, katapusan na ng Philippine market, katapusan na rin ng US equities even, no? So, sabi nga ni Jed, sabi ni Trader Creos na may inverse correlation siya. If malakas yung dollar, olats yung equities, mga risk assets. Diba, logic lang. Pag malakas yung cash, malakas yung dollar, syempre, saan mo pa ba ilalagay yung pera mo? So, in cash na lang or pwede sa high-yielding financial facilities, kunwari time deposits or bonds, ganun, 'di ba? Since high yields, 'di ba? Like TNX, wala lang tayo nun, no? US 10-year. Meron ba tayo nun? So, US 10-year bonds o pa-breakout na rin. So, actually, hindi ito yung tinitignan ko eh. TNX talaga. Pero, ayun, parang nasa 15-year high na siya, no? Near 15-year high since 2008. So, alanganin yun. Alanganin yun for risk assets. Yun, anyway, sige. Move forward tayo.
Yun. So, let's look at the US market.
Ikaw ba, Jed, nag-trade ka US stocks? Hindi.
No.
Sige. Sige, before tayo tignan yung US market, no. Recently, since more of forex yung tinitrade mo, ano yung mga usual na tinitrade mo na pairs? Like, ano yung favorite, top 3, top 5 favorite pairs mo right now?
Siguro yung daily driver namin is usually Euro USD, GBP USD, and USD JPY. So yeah. Ito yung tinitrade namin madalas. Then the rest, basta yung mababang spread.
USD JPY, no? Tama?
Yep.
Or hindi? Okay.
So Euro USD, GBP USD, and USD JPY. Yung main namin tinitrade.
Right now, short bias ka dito, no? Short bias. Yeah. Yun, pag ganun pala, question lang, like, do you trade it in what manner? Like, scalp lang ba, position trading, or siniswing mo ba, momentum, or paano?
Mostly intraday trade. Kasi we don't wanna swing kasi sometimes pwede go over the weekend tapos something happens sa spread, nag-spread widen, or even holding across a day is quite scary because nag-widen yung spreads and possibly may hit yung stop loss. So usually our trades are within the day lang talaga. So we either enter based on the 1 minute or the 3 minute or the 5 minute, pero with still the daily as the context. Kasi we can't just blindly trade patterns in the lower time frame without heeding the daily time frame context. So, yun.
Commodities like gold, WTI, US oil.
My students like trading gold, pero personally, I have a low hit rate sa gold, so I just stop trading it altogether.
Tama. Kung mababa talaga win rate mo hit rate mo, ala, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Okay. Yun, thank you, Jed, no? Sige, let's look at US markets, no? So, yung SPY natin, currently pang forming a head and shoulder pattern, no? So, this week, it printed out a swing high, no? Nag-print out siya ng swing high. So, looks like creating a distribution pattern na head and shoulder pattern. Pero, currently above MA50 pa naman, pero MA50, below MA50 na siya. MA50, okay pa naman. Yun, basically, pag mag-close below 430 yan, 430, then baka totally risk off muna US equities. Or pwede short bias. Yun.
Do you short a lot in US stocks?
Ngayon, actually long only lang ako kasi may mga times na mahirap din mag-short ng mid to small caps, like malaki yung, hindi naman spreads, but medyo kulang sa short volume or sa shares na kailangan mo to short. Yun. Kasi mainly small to mid caps yung tinitrade ko eh. Paminsan may large caps, pero mostly 80 to 90% long only ako dito sa US market. Yun. Qs din natin, ganun din eh. Same lang naman yan, no? So currently pulling back dun sa MA50 natin. If hindi yan mag-go below dito sa neckline mo na head and shoulder pattern, baka markdown phase na ulit. So stage 1 accumulation, markup phase, then distribution, if maging distribution yan. Pero hindi mo din naman pwedeng i-close off na distribution na yan, pwedeng mag-reaccumulate. So mainly if it breaks above 390 din, bullish yun, di ba? Maganda siya for the Qs. If it goes below 350, then risk off talaga. Yun. Ano pa ba? Ano pa pwede natin tignan?
Yun.
Sige.
So that's for US market. Maybe next now we can go to crypto. Maybe Bro Jed, you can give us your insights sa crypto market and maybe on Bitcoin itself.
Bitcoin right
sige.
now, in my opinion, is just consolidating talaga. So parang tulog kung tulog. I mean, right now, there are some alts na are popping left and right. Pero personally kasi I don't trade that often. Like, I don't trade alts often. So I mostly trade Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin's like this, sobrang baba ng volatility, no action, mostly I know when to not trade and focus on other things. So mostly just consolidating. Pero I believe it's gonna go lower. At least that's my bias. Go lower. Maybe form a divergence and hopefully send us higher. Pero for now, I'm bearish/consolidating talaga for Bitcoin.
Okay. May question pala ako. Any fundamental factors like yung issue ba with XRP, laking bearing ba, bakit consolidating lang yung market, yung crypto market natin ngayon?
Ako, to be honest, I'm a technical trader talaga. So I don't really pay attention to news. So I really want to base my analysis on the charts only talaga. So parang I don't really care what happens in news. Kasi if it happens, magre-reflect naman sa charts yan eh. And then I can take advantage of the pattern that forms if ever. So yun, I don't really care sa news.
Okay, nice. Since short term lang talaga, no, intraday.
Yep.
Ganun talaga. Technicals lang. Okay. Tinitignan mo din ba yung total market cap? Like total
I used to, pero parang for me, parang there's no, parang eventually I said na parang there's no point not to keep looking at this. I'll just trade actual Bitcoin candles na lang instead.
Mainly Bitcoin lang ba yung tinitrade mo? Like ETH, hindi mo tinitrade?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, yeah. Kasi sometimes mas clean sa Ethereum. Kasi parang usually same yung setup, pero I go with whatever is cleaner or whatever is easier to trade or better risk-reward ratio. Pero mostly BTC and Ethereum. Thus, hopefully when the bull run comes again, I can trade alts easier again. So, yun. That's what I mostly do.
Okay.
Yun. Alright, thanks mga sir. So maybe now we can proceed to the chart request ng mga people sa comment section or viewers. So guys, feel free to continue commenting. We'll go through most of yung picks. So taon ni Elton, may forex ba? Yes, feel free to comment your forex picks below as well. So ito from Investa versus Daily. Start tayo sa SEC. Beryo.
Sige, since ako yung medyo may matagal na experience sa PSE, sige ako na muna mag-chart, no? So sige, SEC currently rallying dahil coal futures natin rallying din eh, no? So coal futures broke above EMA 50, then looks like trending upward na rin kahit papaano. So yun naman yung underlying product or service ni SEC, di ba? So halos correlated lang din. Yun, mainly may mga resistance tayo at 36. If it does not break above 33, then most likely resistance area na yan, then pull back to 30 or EMA 50, no? So right now, emerging pattern in the short term, medyo wala akong makita eh. Pwede naman, pero medyo bearish siya in some sort kasi parang nag-channel siya paakyat. If mag-channel yan, then break below dun sa channel, then antay ka talagang pullback, no? So yun. Kung titingnan natin big picture, under distribution phase na siya eh, 'di ba? Under distribution. Ito na yung accumulation mo, nag-markup na siya. Madami nang kumita ng pera. So isipin mo 200% in 300 trading days, 320 trading days. Then right now currently looks like distributing na. So yun, sige.
Yun. Actually, Bear,
ikaw, Tom,
na-mention mo yung distribution na. May question ako eh. Would you trade a stock or any asset na you intentionally know na nasa stage 3 na, nasa distribution, pero merong setup?
Pag ganun, swing trade lang talaga. Like, kunwari ito, ano ba yung nakikita natin? looks like meron tayong key level dyan. Straighten out lang natin. May key level tayo dito. Another key level is at this gap area. Sige, gawin natin conservative at this area, 38. So kung meron namang setup, kunyari mag-pull back to 30, swing trade ko lang to 36 or probably at 39. Then sell half at this target areas. Trend follow ko yung the rest. If mag-break dito sa 40, 44, then invalidated yung bias mo na distribution yun. So may hawak ka pa din. Then if ma-trail stop ka, then okay lang din. Kahit pa paano may profits ka. May return dun sa initial risk mo. Yun. Yun naman yung bottom line, di ba?
Tama.
Do you mostly trade in the daily time frame or do you also go intraday for entries sa PSE?
Pag PSE, daily talaga. Daily. Kasi parang yung daily dito, 15-minute ng crypto eh. Parang ganun, tama, no?
Yeah.
Yun. So that's for SCC. Siguro ngayon we can proceed with CNPF.
Yun.
So actually to medyo interesting, di ko alam kung marami nakakita. Pero actually nag 52-week high last Friday. Nag-try mag 52-week high and then nag-try it's actually yan yung all-time high level din niya yung 29
all-time high na yan.
50-ish. Right? So Bear, ano ba yung take mo dyan? Then maybe we can get your insights din, Bro Jed, afterwards.
Yun, actually, kung fundamentals titignan natin, okay naman net income, 10% for a big company na 102 billion market cap. PE ratio, halos medyo overvalued na rin. Nandun na sa overvalued area. Pero most likely, baka may pina-price in sila na something dito na growth-related. Yun naman yung importante na tinitignan ng mga funds o ng mga institutions. Di ko lang alam yung foreign flows nito. Actually net foreign sell sila this trading day. Paano ba natin makikita yun? Sige, punta tayo dito sa foreign flow. So pwede bang makita yung specific stock?
Pwede bang mag-search ng specific stock? Good question. Actually, nalimutan ko na.
Yan. So
pwede,
yun.
Tama,
so titingnan natin yung foreign flows ni CNPF, no. So for the past 3 months na lang natin tignan. So makikita natin na net foreign buying siya for the past 3 months. So foreign back siya na run up, no. So maganda siya in some sense. So most likely baka maging sustainable yung run up nito sooner or later. Good enough volume, no? Kung makikita natin. Medyo liquid din naman, 500 trades for the past trading week. Mas maganda makita natin yung average trades for the past 30 days. If above 100, 200, then okay. Pasado na siya kahit pa paano. Pero yung bottom line kasi, pa-all-time high na siya. Pero problem lang dito, medyo too late ka na if dito ka papasok. Pwede mong gawin, antay ka ng further run up to 30 bucks or 30 pesos pala, I mean. Then wait for a pullback. If hindi mangyari yun, yung pullback na yun, wait for a continuation structure at 31, 32 level, no? Kung targets lang din, tingin ko kung 1:1 targets, measured target mo is at around 38 pesos. So kung Wyckoff yung target yung gagawin mo. Yun.
Ikaw, Bro Jed, how would you approach a chart like this?
Usually I don't like trading breakouts when the macro environment is bad because there's a higher chance of the breakouts fizzling out. And in the past, medyo emotionally damaging yun na you keep seeing a good setup pero in a bad market environment and it just goes to waste. So parang I believe na talagang the environment is more important than the setup. Kasi imagine taking this in a good environment, then definitely no-brainer buy the breakout. In this case, I'm not that interested, especially when the macro is bad. So that's in my opinion.
Yun. Alright, that's for CNPF. So, agree din naman ako pala na parang the likelihood of a breakout continuing, to make a bigger move is definitely lower in a difficult market environment. So, game, let's move on to the next request. Next was Meralco. So, M-E-R.
Utilities related name, no? So, services, no? Yung Meralco. So, big picture, sige, weekly natin, no? Medyo hindi lang maganda tignan. Yun, pretty much trading on a range, no? Mula 250 to 400 pesos. So, ito yung next key level mo. Another key level mo, most probably, eto, no? Diba? So, currently, weekly time frame, price is about EMA 50 on the weekly, no? Then, drill down tayo sa daily time frame. So, kung isi-swing trade mo naman siya, may emerging setup naman siya, no? Meron kang trading range na pwedeng i-trade dito. So, sabi nga ni Trader Creos, no? Hindi maganda talaga mag-buy on breakout in this kind of market environments. So, I think if trip mo talaga yung gantong setup and yung mga utility names, pwede anticipatory mo na siya papasukin, then stops mo at 330. Then targets mo most probably at 400 or 380. So sige, measure up natin, no, kung worth it ba siya. 330 to 380. Pangit yung reward risk, 1.7 lang. Kung 400 pesos, 2:1. Kung mag-risk ka ng 10,000 pesos, 20,000 lang. Or 26,000 pesos lang babalik sa'yo. If you trade this setup. So yun yung pinaka-analysis ko on Meralco.
Yun, sige. I want to go on to the next chart na kasi napag-usapan kanina, no? Si Angelo nag-request ng gold. So, bro, Jed, sa'yo ko ibabato yung gold kahit ayaw mo i-trade masyado, no? So, though I think gold is interesting if you look at it from a longer term time frame, no? Parang sa weekly chart, may kita kang cup with handle. No, but yeah, I do want to get you insights mo, Jed.
So for the weekly chart, tama na cup and handle is the pattern. Pero kasi us, we view it differently. In this case, it's trading at a discount. So parang if you measure a Fibonacci from that swing leg sa weekly, Berrio. So parang if you measure
Big
the
picture,
Fibonacci,
ito.
like
From here to here, tama ba?
No, like parang yung
Ito,
few
yung trading
lang.
range na yun.
Parang it just retrace. So parang it's discount zone for us. So I feel like, yan. So
dito
parang,
sa
feeling
trade.
ko parang possible buy opportunities, I guess. And yeah, I think the stock in the lower time frame and look for possible reversal opportunities is, in my opinion, yun yung play for gold.
Medyo parang no-brainer trade to, no? Parang channel breakout, no? Kung daily time frame, swing trade siya. Kung 1 hour time frame, pwede rin naman. Pero mainly ito yung nakikita mong confirmation, no? At the breakout dito sa 1950 much better. Dito sa break ng swing high na yan. Tama? Okay.
Alright, that's for gold. Ang next request naman natin, Bear, makikita natin na naman yung chart na to from Margie, Converge, tsaka Now. So, siguro Converge muna. Meron ba nagbago sa opinion mo pagdating sa stock na to since 2 weeks ago? Or last week?
All-time high, All-time high. Hindi, joke lang. Inverted yun. All-time low. Or near all-time low. Well, actually, all-time low niya, itong candle na yan 764. So wala, bearish talaga yan.
Kapag ganyan, do you try to look for bounce plays kapag very, very bearish na yung stock?
Oo. Hindi. Pag ganyan, totally pass na doon.
Same, bro.
Antay ka
No
na lang
touch ako sa ganyan. I used to try. Pero parang yung nalimutan ko na exact numbers, pero almost break even lang if you net all the trades. Tapos high stress pa. So, I stopped doing it.
Siguro, kunwari, hindi naman totally bounce yung iti-trade ko. Kasi meron akong setup na Wyckoff Spring, yung tipong pag nag-recover ng super quick, like a 5-day run-up, tapos nag-coil dito, then pwedeng i-trade yung coil na yun. No? Kasi one good sign yun na invalidated sellers eh. Diba? A bear trap. Yun yung akin.
Oh, siguro the only scenario na I would trade something like that is if kapag nagka-crisis talaga tapos talagang tumusok na pababa ng todo. If there was something like that, pwede mo na yun i-micro time frame. Pero kapag ganyan lang na parang slow death, yan, di ko na yan gagalawin.
Agree.
So, ayun. I think generally same sentiments tayo lahat sa Converge, no? So, mostly, stay away muna. Diba? Until siguro magpakita ng signs of recovery. Right? Kasi, we never really know how long it can continue to go down, or even if it stabilizes there sa may 850, how long it can stay in that range, no? Between 8 to 9. So, yung next chart request was Now Corporation.
Ganun din eh. EMA 50 mo, sloping downward on the daily, no? Price below EMA 50. Siguro nandito ka sa support level na to. Okay, sige, nasa piso ka. Pwede mo i-trade yung buy, pwede mo i-trade buy on support, then sell most likely at 140, 160 dito sa next resistance area. Pero pretty much hindi mo para hawakan na matagal. No? Wala. Pangit tingin ko. Tsaka may history ng para sa akin high probability suspension risk siya. Kasi madami siyang moments na nagdi-disclose ng somewhat controversial disclosures, no? Baka mangyari biglang pagtripa na lang ni PSE or what, then suspended ka na, maipit na yung pera mo. Kung tinitrade mo, maipit yung pera mo. Like what happened to Espinec, diba? Yun.
So, that's for Now. Do you have anything to add, Bro Jed? Kay Now.
Wala naman.
Yan,
I think
we can
short
proceed.
this coin to death chart.
Ito na
I
to,
think,
from Maurice. Sige,
pwede ka mag-screen share, Jed?
Or,
para ikaw mag-chart ng, may mga nagtatanong si Ubu Buebue, yung mga Yunfi, Ton, USDT.
Okay.
Ito?
Para mas makapag ka.
Wala atang ton,
Sorry.
pero si Unfi pwede.
Yan.
Sige, let me just try sharing my screen. Ayan, kita na ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige, I don't trade alts that much, pero basing from this siguro right now, ang immediate bias is play the retrace towards the breakout level. So parang mostly short, and that's pretty much how I chart. So parang you have a bias. Now that you have a bias, now you look for the lower time frame opportunities to short it. So possibly M15, ano ba possible dito? So possible same thing, short ka abang ka dito ng short. Parang basically level to level lang for the most part. Pero I think that's pretty much it for Unfi for me.
Pag ganyan,
Sorry.
tanong ko lang, usually yung mga trades mo like 3-1, 5-1 reward risk, or okay ka na with 2-1?
Sa crypto, usually it depends. Like for Bitcoin, normally okay na ako for 1:1, 1:1.5, pero higher yung position size. Pero for alts, especially they have higher movement range. I think I can settle for at the minimum 2, pero mostly 1:3 for alts. Pero kasi when we're in an uptrend and when we trend follow, parang there is the reward is very big kasi you just follow the trend eh. So parang kapag ganun, then don't have targets, just trend follow it. So ayun, that's how I approach it.
Usually pag ganun pala, tanong ko lang din. Like, do you trade it na multiple times in a day or ano lang, like kunyari 9 PM lang, 9:30 PM pag open ng US session or London session, doon mo lang siya tinitrade?
Sa Forex, sometimes I trade the London or the US. Pero so crypto kasi most of the time, I feel like it doesn't really matter. Now, definitely we can run a backtest personal and check kung saan nagko-coincide yung volumes, and definitely it might be in the London or the US session. Pero when I look at my personal journal, ang daming trades na wala dun sa mismong session. So parang I just don't care. As long as my setup, it's fine. So that's how I approach it.
So right now, parang more of anticipatory yung approach mo or breakdown yung approach?
Actually, I don't really trade breakout, breakdown. Mostly, I like to trade mean reversion. So parang failed breakouts and failed breakdowns yung gusto kong
Yun.
nilalaro sa Bitcoin at least. Kasi if you see naman sa Bitcoin, super dami niyang wicks na ang daming wicks na possible. For example, itong part na to, I shorted as well as here. So ang dami niyang wicks na possible mong i-short and marami niyang place na possible mo long, for example, in this case. And failed breakdown, possible long. And my trades are within the day naman, so parang it will resolve very quickly and I'll know if I'm wrong or right in a matter of a day. So I don't have to wait it out and deal with the stress of holding a losing position. So, ayun.
Solid.
Yun.
Sige, may isa pang pinapa-chart si Uvubuevuebue. Si
Itong
TRB
TRB.
USDT.
TRB. Okay, interesting. Ooh. So, I think isa to sa mga alts na nag-pump talaga, no? So, if ako to, normally I'll wait for people to buy here, then I'll be their counterparty and short it. So, parang, kasi that's how at least we trade, na parang, di ba, the concept of transaction. So, meaning, for every buyer, kailangan may seller, and for every seller, kailangan may buyer. Otherwise, walang transaction. And when a lot of people, at least, or one person wants to offload a lot of shares or holdings, kailangan ng maraming buyers. And when do we get a lot of buyers? When people buy the breakout. So parang sila yung magiging liquidity mo to fuel your short position. So at least that's what I would do. Pero since wala pa doon, possibly we can look for longs towards that area. So maybe it's for the 1 hour. So yan, maybe there's some consolidation. Maybe you can buy some micro breakouts. Pero that's not my type. I usually just wait. For example, here possibly, if my setup in the day, I would have been short. So parang, kasi in my trading career, ang taas na ganang winning ko for shorting. So parang, I just stick to what I'm good at. So that's shorting. So even if people hate me na, you're a bear, you keep shorting. So I just do what I do. Kasi numbers don't lie eh. If the numbers tell me that shorting brings you money, then why not just keep shorting, right? So that's my philosophy when I approach these kinds of trades.
Tama. Kung ano talaga yung market edge mo, no? Kung saan ka kumikita.
Exactly. Alright.
So guys, feel free to comment down below crypto, forex, and US picks as well. Siguro Bear, I'll ask you to share your screen again, no? Meron pa tayong maybe 2 to 3 more PSE na picks na medyo interesting, no? So sana ba yung isa na yun? Maybe we can chart FCG. Kasi kung may titignan mo yung chart ni FCG, andyan yung sinasabi ni Bro Jed kanina.
Yan. So, siya? Nagkaroon ng failed breakout. So, ito yung niya, IPO high niya, or tama ba? Yan. Yun. So, ito yung niya, parang IPO base ko, no? Kung titingnan mo siya, ito yung IPO base mo, on the breakout, ganda niyang tignan, di ba? So, automatic buy yan, may liquidity, then, finade, papuntang EMA50, tinry ulit, pa-breakout dito, sa 1.1, then, failed ulit. So, on the second time, doon, nawasak na siya. Typical distribution structure, di ba? Typical distribution structure. So, right now, just looking at the chart, mag-range lang talaga siya at this levels sa 0.5 to 1 pesos. So, kung nag-na siya, at 0.5, pwedeng buy on support ka. If mag-fail breakdown naman, then much better. So, pwede kang mag-long. Yun yung pwede mong maging bias. So, growth, story, fundamentals, Hindi natin sure eh. 'Di ba? I think ito yung Angel's Pizza, tama ba? Angel's Pizza to, no? FCG.
Sila ba may-ari ng Angel's Pizza?
Oo. I think
Talaga?
ito 'yun. So, wala pa siyang wala pa siyang earnings na nire-release. So, hindi ko masabi kung okay ba yung niya, fundamentals niya. Pero looking at the earnings growth last year, ganda, lakas, 30%, 69%, second quarter, third quarter, positive ulit, 50%. Wala lang news ngayon or earnings release, no? So anyway,
I have a question, Berio. How much percent
sige.
do you attribute to fundamental stuff like earnings report? Like, do you take a setup, let's say if it's good pero bad yung earnings? Or like, how do you manage to blend the fundamentals in your setups?
Depende sa context eh. Kunyari sa US market, like kunyari small cap siya or mid cap na may increasing earnings growth, no? Tapos may potential possession setup. No-brainer 'yon. Tipong kung i-percentage natin siya, mas 55-60% fundamentals, technicals around yung remaining, no, yung balance. Pero syempre, take into account ko din yung macro environment, yung ginagawa ng main indices natin. Kasi kahit na gaano kaganda yung setup, kahit gaano kaganda yung fundamentals ng company, pag pangit yung market backdrop, like ngayon, di ba? Pag nagpo-pullback, nagde-distribute, hindi ka para mag-dwell on putting up big possessions on that trade. Pag ganyan, swing trade lang talaga. Yun. Nice question. Sana nga pala tayo na wala ako.
FCG. If meron ka pang
FCG.
i-add dyan.
Wala na actually, lang. Pwede ba yun support ka? If mag-fake breakdown, then magkaroon ng Wyckoff Spring or what, then maganda.
Yun. Alright, that's for FCG. Siguro we can do one more na PSE. And then, bro, Jed, maybe you can chart, a while ago you mentioned parang the three main pairs na trade mo sa Forex. Maybe you can give us your insights on them. And then we can proceed to the, yung parang sharing yung trading workflow. And then, yun. So maybe, Bear, we can open C++. Tapos, Jed, bro, meron ako sinat sa'yo. Basahin mo lang. Yung sa private na chat.
Yun. Sige.
Okay.
So, yung plus, no? Mainly, ito yung parang market darling natin, no? From this accumulation structure, nag-breakout, nag-stage 2 markup, then right now, nasa 630 na. So, from this base, no? Up to this, around 100% gain na siya. So, in the Philippine market, malaki na yan. 100%. No? Although, one comment ko lang with Plus is medyo illiquid siya or mababa yung market value or market turnover niya on
Thinly
this
traded.
Isipin mo, daily trading value. So, isipin mo, 12 million. Paano kung meron kang 10 million? May papasok mo ba dyan? Hindi, di ba? Kung paano kung may 5M ako, gusto ko ipasok sa Plus, mahirap ipasok. Baka mapump ko siya. Di ba? Unless nasa bedside ako. Yun, anyway, fundamentals, looking at fundamentals, malupit talaga, no? Casino, online casino name. Ano siya? Strong earnings growth. 100%, 200%. Second quarter actually, no? Medyo nakakagulat. Halos 700M yung net income niya. 2,000%. So, pinaprice in naman ng market na strong earnings siya. Hindi natin alam saan mapupunta to. Pero next key level at 697 pesos. So, round number na lang natin, 7 pesos. Pwede sell ka na onti doon. Sige. Ano yun?
Tingin mo ba catalyst kapag nag-change name? Pag nag-change ng stock code? O hindi naman?
Pwede.
Naalala ko
yun
lang dati, yung Sinafen, yung dating Ace N noong 2019 pa. Sina Ace X. Naalala ko lang bigla. Parang interesting i-backtest yun. Kapag nag-change name, ano yung nangyayari after 6 months? So, merong masipag mag-backtest nun. Parang fun
lang kasi
theory lang.
Oo, pwede. Hindi lang kasi siya simpleng change name lang eh. Paano kung si Now ginawang ano? Paano ginawang TOM, tomorrow naman, instead of now, di ba? Paano kung ganun? Pero walang kwentang pag-change name, di ba? Naging Tom, tomorrow. Instead of now. Pero, isipin mo kasi yung Finma dati, before pa siya maging ASEN, di ba, Fen pa lang siya. Actually, isa to sa mga life-changing trades ko. So, yung setup ni Jed na bear trap, bull trap, na may failed breakout, breakdown, isa to sa mga life-changing trades ko. Finma pa lang siya, PHEN. Nakuha ko na siya dito sa failed breakdown na yan. At 180. Position trade talaga. Accumulate. Then, gulat ako. Nagkaroon ng growth narrative na aanuhin siya ng Ayala and whatnot. It's all about the narrative yung growth narrative ng stock, no? In the long term, even yung 3 to 5 years na outlook.
Kapag
Kasi
ganyan,
plus-
how do you handle your
Sige.
position? Like, how do you add to trades? How do you trim your position? Especially when grabe na yung run-up. How do you manage your trade?
Sige. Nung way back, nung early 2020. So, ano siya, di ba? No-brainer yun eh. Low interest rate environment, nag-crash yung market, money printer gober. Ano siya, talagang may growth story pa to. Ang ginagawa ko, per base ako nagdadagdag. My first tranche was at around mid-April dito sa base na yan. Then on the breakout, nagdagdag ako on the way up. Kumbaga, as my possession or my trade makes profit, meron akong parang cushion ba na to add on the possession. So initially 1 million possession muna, then dagdag till ma-fulfill mo yung pinaka target allocation mo. So in this case, yung target allocation ko na fulfill ko at 280. Then na trend follow ko siya up to this area. Hindi ko na masyadong hindi na ako nakapagdagdag or whatever dito. So okay na rin siya in some way. Malaking kita na rin 'yun. So on the way up din ako nag-unload or nagbabawas ng position.
How many % usually when you unload?
Pag ganyan, kunwari, eto. So, may base tayo, di ba? So, initial targets ko, hindi ko lang alam kung naka-logarithmic to. So, kung logarithmic scale, kumakasa siya talaga sa targets ko. So, initial target ko is the measured target from the base. No? Kung ito yung base ko, may measured target was at 6 pesos, 590. So, pag ganyan, bawas 33%, 1/3 of my position. Then, if ma-hit na yung trails ko, doon ako mag-sell all. Ganun. Basta pag low interest rate environment and net quantitative easing, trend following environment yun for me. Yun. Pero right now, hindi nag-work yan ngayon.
Kulelats mo yun.
Walang trend following ngayon. Unless, ganyan, Lily, diba? Hindi ko lang alam paano nangyari yan. Ano yung naging narrative niyan. Ewan. Hindi ko pa nakakal. Sige. Yun. Anyway. Si Jed naman.
Okay. Bro, Jed, feel free to share your screen again para dun sa sa forex charts. Tapos siguro sige, share mo. Start mo tayo dun. Ayan.
Ayan, for the euro dollar, I wanna show it lang ulit yung setups. So kita nyo ulit, failed na breakout. So parang usually I'd be there shorting that. Pero lately, if you haven't heard, my forex funds went down, and all of my profit accounts nasa my forex funds. So I wasn't able to participate there na. So ayun. Pero yeah, for my bias, bearish until where? Siguro until here. Just because again the dollar is very strong. So yan yung siguro liquidity point na possibly most likely matamaan. So if I'm bearish, I just look for bearish setups. Now, where do I look for bearish setups? So possible mga retrace, mga previous na naging support here, possible mag-short. So very quick lang, bearish. That's for my Euro USD. For GBP USD, same lang din. For the weekly, again, was the most likely na it's seeking. It's most likely this point. So possibly short towards that. You can see then the market structure is bearish. So, bearish. So again, just look for shorts here, then towards here. Or if you're very adventurous, you can try to long and counter trend trade the bounce. So it depends now on your skill level and what actually happens here. So let's see nasa lower time frame. 15 minutes. So maybe, like yung sabi ni Bro Beria, if nagka-spring dito, possible long mo yan, then just target very quickly. Tapos kapag UTAD ba sa week off, then you can just short it. So parang ganun lang. Just capitalize on failed breakdowns and breakouts. So, yeah. For USD JPY, I'm quite bullish. So bullish until where? So same framework across the board kasi you have to be consistent. Ito yung next likely na target since again USD is strong. So ayan, nagkaroon ng impulse, nagkaroon ng konting retracement. Then most likely it's gonna continue there. So look for long setups. So ayun lang, very quick. That's how I do my charting.
Yun.
Solid.
Okay. Teka lang. So that's for a few of the forex pairs or the main forex pairs trade ni Bro Jed. Bear, pwede ba i-share yung screen mo ulit? Or actually, we can actually proceed na pala now to the discussion on trading workflow. So I want to give the floor to the both of you. Maybe we can start with you pala, Bro Jed. Since you were discussing about it, maybe you can share what you parang ayun. Paano ba, Bear? Paano ba yung i-discuss? Ano yung focus?
Sige. So mainly ang gusto nating ma-provide na value sa lahat ng nanonood right now is paano ba talaga yung main workflows mo leading toward the trade? Like, how do you chart? Ano yung mga, hindi naman specific setups, pero ano yung mga, kahit magbigay ka ng, kunyari, for example, yung binibigay na setup ni Jed, yung mga springs, UTAD, or upthrust, mga bear trap, bull trap. So, paano mo siya tinitignan? Daily time frame ba muna? 1 hour time frame? Or what? Do you look at the dollar, the XY muna? Then, how do you position size? Most important.
Right.
Yung risk management. Sige.
Actually, I've prepared few trading sections pero nasa trading view siya, Toma. Can I?
Sige. Go ahead.
Sorry. Let me just show. Okay.
Ayun.
Kita na ba? Right. So, again, we like trading USD JPY. So, I'll show you a classic trade of what we look for. Let me just look for it again. Okay, so let's just go back. Let's replay this. So, workflow, right? So, most of the time, consider the macro environment, right? So, that's looking at Dixie. Pero sometimes, if you can't get insight from that, edi wala. Kasi you don't have to pilot it naman. If you can't gain insight sa Dixie, then just trade setup-wise. So, what's the workflow? So, normally, dapat meron ng mga pre-marked levels going into the trading session. So, in this case, I mark this. Parang here, it's like a resistance or supply. That's what we call it. And we basically wait for price to go there. So, step 1, look at the macro environment. Step 2, mark areas in the chart. So parang we do this para we don't FOMO, parang we know na, we're gonna wait for the price to come to us and hindi tayo manghahabol ng price. So we wait lang, like literal a waiting game. Kasi nga, most of the time, trading is a waiting game talaga. And you learn that as you grow as a trader. Kasi when you're beginning, kasi ang gusto mong mangyari, just be in a trade all the time. What's the next trade? Pero when you grow, you'll realize na, I have to wait for the opportunities that are actually good or asymmetrical in nature. So in this case, it's just a 1 hour time frame, right? So now let's go to a lower time frame. In this case, basically ang reference area natin is a higher time frame. So that can be a 1 hour, 4 hour daily. And then now we'll go to a lower time frame. So in this case, 5 minutes siya. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So usually ang pair namin is 1 hour, tapos 5 minute, 4 hour, tapos 15 minute, tapos 1 day, tapos 1 hour. So that's the standard. Pero usually, you can change it naman depending on where it's clear. So sometimes pwede ka mag 3 minute, sometimes pwede ka mag 10 minutes. So it depends eh. So it's not very hard and fast rules naman. Okay, so wait lang. Let me just delete this. Why can't I delete? Ayan. Okay, so again, the setup is very simple. This is a bear trap or a sweep. It looks better here sa 1 hour. You can see, di ba? Kitang-kita. May swing point, tapos people are trying to buy the breakout, tapos you'll be on the other side shorting that. So what's the setup? Very simple. So ayan, may breakdown. So parang you can see, di ba? Price is making bullish structure, right? Bullish structure. Tapos nag-break ng low na to. So bearish na. So where do you look? Another reference area, supply zone. So we shorted here and we targeted there. So recap of the workflow, same thing, diba? Macro, higher time frame reference zones, wait for the trigger, then go to a lower time frame and then do the setup. For targets naman, it can go both ways. You can do a higher time frame target or a lower time frame target. In this case, it's a higher time frame target. Why? Kasi it coincided along this level. So, yeah. So, you might argue na if this is a very good setup, why don't I hold my trades longer, right? So, this is where the concept of first trouble area comes. So, parang, my philosophy is it's better to, take profit na rather than go through the stress of trying to hold for a longer target. Kasi, more likely than not, you can have re-entries naman eh. And we're trading intraday. So parang we don't always have to swing for the fences kasi hindi yung objective ng trade. Ang objective of the trade is just to mean reversion. So I'll show another trade. Now this time is in crypto para ibang context naman. Where is that? Here. Market up and advance. So kita nyo, very same, no? Ng setup. So yan, may supply zone. You pre-mark that, like you really have to. Kasi otherwise, makakita ka ng kung ano-anong areas in the chart if hindi ka naka-pre-mark. So you put that, wait for price to go there. Then again, since it's 1 hour, we go to the 5 minute. Tapos, where is it? Ayan, so very similar, right? So in this case, this is more of a lower time frame. So you can see naman na may microstructure there. Tapos pagka-break, I got in. As in pagka-break, tapos nag-konting retrace, I got in agad. And targeted here, a lower time frame target naman. So difference eh. So medyo discretionary na whether you wanna target a higher time frame or a lower time frame. Pero dapat consistent. Dapat hindi yung TP when happy. Kasi hindi siya replicable kapag ganun. And what will you write sa journal? TP because I was happy. No, kasi kailangan we have to have a reproducible mechanical process where we take profit. So yun yung workflow. After you take the trade, you journal. And if you want to really evolve, that's when you record yourself being in the trade and talk through while you're trading. Now, this is very hard kasi it takes, for example, some trades I took 5 hours of me recording and talking through it. It's nakakatamad ng journal. Pero you'll realize yung mga thoughts that go into your head. For example, oh no, this candle looks like it's gonna reverse on me. What do I do? So most of your management issues will be solved when you actually record yourself in the trade. So that's, I guess, the next level na. Generally, plan the trade, trade the plan, then journal. Tapos every week or every month, do a review. Very simple process, very simple setup, very mechanical. And just do it every single day and hopefully you get rich. So yun, that's my workflow. Hopefully that helps.
Yun. Solid. Thank you, Bro Jed, for sharing that. Dami nagko-comment, no? Nagpapa-shout out.
Shout out.
Yun.
Was shower out.
Mamaya. Shout out natin lahat. So, Bear, maybe you can share yours naman next.
Wait lang. May tanong ako kay Jed eh. Solid nung mga
Yun,
share
sige.
niya eh. Sige, before pala dun sa like, how do you consider your position sizing? Like, dynamic ba siya or fixed lang? Like, 0.5% lang ng portfolio mo or 1%
Normally,
strictly?
1% VAR talaga. Like, yun yung very constant. Now, some people reduce when they're in drawdown, pero me, I still keep it to 1%. Now, there are times na mag-increase ng risk, and that's directly correlated sa environment. So, parang for example, Bitcoin, nung nag-daily divergence na double yun, I increase my risk. Pero generally, I keep my risk very low talaga. Parang, for me, I just trust na it's gonna compound, and I'm not really in the rush na, double my portfolio every week or every month. Parang that's not my goal eh. Parang for me, consistent, steady growth over the long run, I believe is gonna pay off. So parang even if I see a lot of people na nag-go over leverage, I don't get FOMO kasi I've been there before eh. Parang I times an account in a month, over risking. And what happened? It just gets liquidated. Kasi nga, the more risk you get, the more risk you put in, the higher the gains surely, pero the higher risk of ruin then. So parang for me, I stick to 1% and maybe 1.5, maybe 2%, pero generally, yun yung risk ko.
Yun, solid. Okay, sige. So, very nice workflow, no? So, top-down approach, meron kang higher time frame bias, then lower time frame execution, then by the looks of it, parang lang talaga eh, mean reversion talaga yung edge mo, no? So, short-term trades, like, maybe, tingin ko, average trade time mo, time in trade mo, tingin ko, 4 hours lang eh. 4 hours, 2 hours?
Around 4 hours.
Oh, yun yung tansya ko. So, yun. Typically, kung titignan ko yung trades ni Jed or yung workflow ni Jed, lang talaga, like, very simple lang. Then, tapos na yung trades mo in maybe 4 hours, no? In the trading day. Pero yung preparation, like, how do you prepare pala, no? Like,
usually pagkagising, just mark everything. Or sometimes,
mark
pag late na
everything.
nagising, usually, I just copy my students' markings. Kasi they've done their work naman na. And I trust that they know the system. So, ayun.
Okay. Nice. Yun, sige. So, yung, ano lang pala, no? Parang just to discuss. Very important, lalo na kunwari, starting trader ka, kailangan may workflow ka talaga. Hindi yung baka-baka lang na upo ka, titingin ka sa chart. Hindi. Mukhang tingin ko, bullish yan kasi pangalan now. Parang ganun. Hindi ganun. Kailangan meron kang specific setups. May proseso ka on how you look at charts. Like, top-down approach ba? Ano yung time frame na tinitingnan mo? Weekly time frame ba? Daily time frame? Do you look at the market cycle? Mga ganun. So, sige. Ako naman, no? Share ko yung workflow ko. Yun. Sige. Trying to share na, So, yun. Sige. Share ko muna, So, sa akin kasi, meron akong dashboard, market dashboard. Like, I always look at, ano yung top sectors. Like, eto, currently, sa US market to specifically, makikita nyo naman how I look at the Philippine market din, no? Like, PSCI muna, tignan ko muna yung main index. So, in the US market, ang main indices na tinitignan ko, yung SPY, and then yung Qs, or yung QQQ, yung triple Q. Then, same thing with Jed, ano yung bias ng mga index mo, or yung ano ba yung bias ng macro, no? So, aside from this, which is yung index mismo, I look at the DXY. So, ano ba? Yung DXY ba very strong? Like, pag malakas kasi yung DXY, it's a risk of, no? Or high probability risk of environment for equities, no? Specifically US market. So, right now, etong bear trap na yan, yung Wyckoff spring na yan, after this Wyckoff spring, kinutuban na talaga ako na totally risk off na, or hindi naman totally risk off, but decrease exposure. So, from that information itself, which is a risk off signal in your macro benchmarks. So, instead of 100% exposure, kunwari, babawasan ko siya, tipong 50% in possession lang ako. Then 50% cash. 50% cash. So based on that information, doon ko nilalaro yung market exposure ko. So okay, DXY. Next is yung TNX. So saglit lang to sa TradingView. So tinitingnan ko yung 10-year note yields. So generally, another macro benchmark, no? So top-down approach yung ginagawa ko. Top-down approach. So next question ko, malakas ba yung yields? So pag malakas yung yields, pangit yun for equities. If mahina yung yields, nagde-decrease or bumababa, maganda yun for equity. So right now, based on the current chart, malakas yung yields, no? So if it breaks above this green line, lalong risk off signal yun. So okay, tapos na tayo dyan. Medyo tedious na task siya, pero it gives you the market backdrop. Kumbaga, ano ba yung nangyayari behind no? Bakit ba mahina yung SPY mo? Bakit ba mahina yung Qs mo and whatnot? At least it gives you an information na it gives you information and conviction on the reasons, no? Which gives you conviction then to decrease market exposure or taasan yung market exposure if yung signals na yun na binibigay ng benchmarks mo is a risk-on signal, di ba? Yun, next step, kunwari, na-assess ko na, medyo risk off, 50% exposure lang tayo. Doon ako magde-drill down sa sectors, no, sa market groups. So, in the Philippine market, yan yung financials mo, yung FINA mo, mini, services, and whatnot. So, sa US market, ito yung communication sector, technology sector, and others. Then, the rest, yung mga specific market teams like semiconductor names, home builder names, AI and tech, cloud computing, etc., etc. So, dito sa market dashboard na ginagamit ko, naka-rank naman yan. Then, what I do from that 50% exposure na, depende sa market exposure na binibigay sa akin ng market environment, no? So currently 50% stocks ako, 50% cash. Pinipili ko yung mga specific stocks na gusto kong allocatean. So in this case, pwedeng sa communication sector or pwede rin dito sa energy sector kasi siya yung leading in the monthly change, no. So siya yung may momentum kumbaga versus other sectors na down this month, no. So yun, pwedeng expose ako ng onte at energy or communications. Then, pipili ako dito sa top 10 components ng sector na yun. So, kunyari, may nakita akong setup sa Meta, may nakita akong setup sa Google, and whatnot. Or, kunyari, sa energy. Sa chart ko yan, kunyari, Exxon. Mayroon bang setup? So, looking at the chart, pwede naman kung position trade siya, and generally, bias ko is high inflation environment, bullish for energy sector, then position trade ako. Pwedeng buy on support ako dito at 112, buy on retracement. First tranche, dagdag ako second tranche dito, then offload na lang ako or unload na lang ako on the way up. So, ganun. Next, dito sa market team. So, I pick the top 5 market teams and I look for the strongest stocks dito na syempre dapat may setup, no? So for example, dito sa semicon name, recently may tinrade ako INTC, Intel. So last week na done na yung trade, natapos na yung trade. So ano lang siya, no? Parang bear trap lang din siya, like yung setup ni Jed. So Wyckoff Spring siya sa EMA50. Tinrade ko tong range na yan. I bought on the breakout. Then in-offload ko lang dito sa 37. Then ayun, tapos na yung trade, no? Simply put, lang siya, bear trap. So ganun, swing trade lang pag medyo risk off yung market. If gumanda yung market environment, then I switch my gears to a position trading style or a trend following style. Or depende rin, kunwari may nakita akong solid na stock, like sige, later on na lang, no? Or Baka kasi maging hype or what. Pero sige, ganun yung process, no? Top-down approach, macro muna, indices muna, macro, benchmarks, liquidity benchmarks. Actually, hindi ko na diniscuss. Pero I look at Fed liquidity din. Fed liquidity. So, ibig sabihin, if malakas yung Fed liquidity, then risk on yun. Pero, di ko na para to drill down, no? Pero, ayun, mainly, top-down approach siya. So, yun yung stock picking process or yung workflow. Stock picking process and workflow. On the charting workflow, I think alam nyo na how I chart. I always look at the big picture. Then, I question or kini-question ko if ano bang market cycle na to. So, currently, itong Intel looks like under accumulation, di ba? Stage 1, accumulation. So, ano yung magiging bias ko dyan? Pwedeng on this breakout, transition siya to stage 2. Pwedeng buy on support ako dito, buy on retest, then go long. Swing trade to 44 or even 48 bucks, which is the next key level. Yan yung next key level mo. So, ganun. Kailangan alam mo yung market cycle. And, sige, on the position sizing or risk management workflow naman, no? So, syempre, kunyari may trade plan ka na. You use the long position tool. So, dito na rin ako nagpo-position size, no? So, I use the long position tool. I put my account size, kunyari, 1 MUSD. So, tama ba? 1 MUSD. Risk is 1%, pero usually 5.5% risk lang per trade. I put my entry price, kunyari, buy on retest. Stops ko, pwedeng 50% nito or yung EMA 50, no? Para may liquidity. Targets ko at 46, which is the next resistance level. So, it gives me the information na 1,900 shares yung pwede kong bilhin para if na-hit yung orders ko at 36.78 and mas stopped out ako at 34.23. Ang mawawala lang sa akin is around 5,000 bucks. No? So, 0.5% ng 1 million, 0.005, 5,000 bucks. So, ganun. So, yun yung risk management workflow. So, on each trade, importante na may position sizing workflow ka para hindi ka mahirapan na magulat ka na lang, ang laki na ng loss mo kasi hindi ka nag-position size na maayos. So, ganun. Yun yung main workflow ko. Yun, pretty much it, no? I think malaking tulong na yun sa lahat.
Yun. Okay, nice. So, siguro keep mo lang yung screen mo, no? Para may placeholder tayo dyan. Siguro to sum up everything, I have a question for the both of you, no? So, I think same with all three of us, pero sa discussion nyo, you guys talked about, na first you look at the macro environment, no? So, for someone who's maybe just starting out or talagang purely charts ang tinitignan but also wants to, parang start looking at macro din. Parang how can you start learning that? Kasi, let's say, di ka naman business major, economics major, finance major in college. Ayun, parang where do you start? Kasi when you look at macro, ang daming stuff na nangyayari, especially when you look at it, diba, you look super deep into it, no? So how can you start learning that and how can you start applying that sa trading mo? Siguro, Jed, we can start with you. Given computer science major ka, diba? Oh, so parang how did you,
Ako, in my opinion, one of the best ways to learn macro is first to actually experience it. Kasi parang when you experience that time and it happens again in the future, you'll know na ito pala yung nangyayari in this environment. And number 2 is for me, Twitter. Sobrang daming very good macro people that make very beginner-friendly threads that you can follow and, understand more of macro, or if you have more money, you can subscribe to a paid newsletter about macro. So, isa sa mga I'd recommend siguro is kay Macro D-Shack. Pero, otherwise, just read Twitter talaga and see how people, exchange ideas, possibly this event does this to the market, tas in the future, something similar. Kasi di ba nga, the market will react almost similarly kapag yung stimuli is similar din. So, parang experience talaga, exposure to the market. So, ayun, for me, that's how I learn macro.
Yun. Actually, same thing, no? It's all about constant exposure dun sa information na yun. Like, kunwari, wala ka talagang idea, ano ba yung monetary policy? Ano ba yung Fed? Siyempre, pwede mong gawin, pwede mo naman tanungin si ChatGPT, di ba? Like, how monetary policy works, mga ganon. Pwede ka nod ng YouTube, like, siyempre, yung pinaka-core niyan is yung Fed, di ba? Yung monetary policy nila, like, net tightening ba sila? Net easing ba sila? Ganyan. Mainly, it drills down or boils down doon sa sa may liquidity ba or nadadagdagan ba ng liquidity yung markets? Actually, yun din yung main question ko since the start eh. Paano ko may measure yung liquidity and whatnot? So, doon nag-start yung journey ko on learning about macro. And ayun, mahabang proseso and nakakapagod. And medyo confusing din, lalo na kunwari, wala ka namang idea on financial jargons, mga ganito, ganyan. Pero ano lang talaga constant exposure. Constant exposure. Tsaka, yun, backtesting. Ano ba nangyari noong 2008? Yung mga historical bubbles na nangyari. Ano ba yung interest rates noong 2000, year 2000, nung internet bubble? Ano ba yung interest rates noong 2007 before the GFC or Great Financial Crisis? Ano ba yung nangyayari noong 1920s? Mga ganun. 1970s, 1980s. What led up to the market crashes? Or what led up to the market crash, then the recovery? Mga ganun.
Yup,
Ano siya,
siguro...
more of investigating.
Sorry, Bear. Yeah.
Hindi, yun. Tama. More of investigating talaga. Learning history. Tama. Yun. Learning history.
Yeah. The reason why tumiting ako sa likod, kasi I forgot the title. Pero, if you want to learn about history, about how certain things, yung sinabi ni Bear, what certain things had to happen to lead to a certain event. May binasa akong book ni Ray Dalio, yung Changing World Order. So,
yun.
it's a very, nabasa mo yun, Bear?
Napanood ko sa YouTube. Wala na akong time magbasa.
Yeah, binasa ko yung book. And ang galing ni Dalio kasi napaka-complicated yung subject. Napaka-complicated. And yun ata yung first time ko na nakabasa ako ng 100 pages sa isang araw sa isang upuan. Parang 5 hours ako nagbabasa kasi sobrang interesting niya. Hindi it wasn't, he tells a great story about how certain empires rose, how they fell. It's not even about markets totally pero it's a good read siya. Good read siya for knowledge, diba? And siguro ako na yung last sagot to add dun sa macro, ako talaga wala akong alam I think the reason, sabi mo, Bear, the reason why you studied it is you want to know what drives liquidity, diba? Yung sabi mo, diba? Ako,
may financial plumbing.
Tama. Ako, narinig ko yung word na taper for the first time. Sabi ko, ano yun? So, ganun nag-start kung ba't ako nag-aral. Yung ginagawa ko dati, nung nagtuturo si Javi, lahat ng sinasabi hindi ko alam, sinusulat ko sa notepad. Tapos ginugoogle ko lahat ng meaning. Tapos paglabas sa Investopedia or kung ano website yung ginagamit ko pang search. Kung ano man, kasi sinearch ko yung word na taper. Then nakita ko yung event na to dati, bakit nag-taper, ano yung taper. Then may mga new words doon sa Investopedia article that came with the word taper. Tapos ginugoogle ko rin yun. So it's really a process of learning, of diba, parang putting in that work to understand how certain things happen. As mentioned nga. And then like sabi ni Jed, constant exposure sa markets, you really get to understand something once you really experience it, di ba? So yun talaga like it's easy to get it in theory, pero to see how it's applied, you really have to be in the market yourself and have your money on the line. So yun yung sa macro. But yeah, sabi nga ni Ray Dalio, di ba? Parang that's the reason why meron siyang binuo na principles kasi what happens in the past, parang I think, sorry, my thoughts are jumbled, pero sabi nga ni Jed, if it happened in the past, diba, something similar, it can happen again, in the future. Sabi ni Dalio, it's another one of those. Yun yung term. It's another one of those. Kaya inaral niya lahat ng presidents sa previous cycles, diba? So if something similar happens in the present, from a high probabilistic point of view, he knows how to properly adjust his portfolio, right? The Bridgewater. So ayun. So I think that's a good way to maybe end this discussion. And before, diba, we give our final message to everyone. Guys, of course, plug ko lang really quick. We have ba't di lumalabas? Ayun, we have the Investa Summit 2023 happening, right, in about a month. So, tama, in about a month, it's going to be happening. And, yeah, it's going to be on October 13 to 15 for the online event and October 21 for the physical event. And, of course, we have our suite of speakers here. Meron pa actually mga hindi pa na-announce. Nahanday ko lang yung picture. Pero, ayun, that it's going to be happening in a month. And, of course, I would like to give a huge shout out to our major partner for the event, AP Securities. So without AP Securities, the Investa Summit wouldn't be possible. So quickly lang, share screen ko lang din yung event website. If you guys want to get your tickets, you can head over to investagrams.com/Investa Summit. Again, it's happening in a month. And I mentioned this na last week, but the way we wanted to structure the event is ginusto namin ibalik yung physical segment o yung physical aspect ng event, just like how it was in 2017 to 2019. Pero ayaw din namin tanggalin yung online kasi maraming OFWs na nag-a-attend sa event. So we made it a 2-in-1 event. So merong online speakers, meron din physical speakers. Ano mangyayari dun? What will happen in the physical event? It's going to be more of a panel discussion and networking night. So you can meet with our speakers and you can meet with the Investa team as well. And si Jed is going to be there also, if I'm not mistaken, dun sa physical event. So our speakers range from of course, we have Tom Baso's back, good friend of ours dito sa Investa, one of the market wizards. Of course, our CEO si JC, our co-founder si JC, boss MG is gonna be there, and of course other experts sa kanilang industry. So hindi lang to about trading. We're gonna be having talks about AI, Web3, business, etc. So hopefully we can see you guys there. 1 month na lang. Hopefully we can see you as one of our VIPs. And again, shout out sa major sponsor namin, of course, AP Securities and our other partners who help make this possible as well. So, ayun. Stop ko lang yung share screen ko. So siguro before I let you guys go, hingi sana ako ng final message for everyone. Siguro I'll start with you, Jed, kasi ang daming nag-comment dito na nagpapa-shoutout sa'yo. So, do you have any final message for our Investagrams community? And meron ka bang mga gustong i-shoutout dyan?
Siguro, guys, may code Summit Krios for 10% off the VIP pass sa Investa Summit.
Tama.
So, if you guys want to use that. And for real, I think my message is to really embrace the process. You can see naman, me and Bear's process talagang, there's actual process. Hindi siya yung chamba-chamba lang na one day we decided to trade. Pero you really have to have a process kasi otherwise, hindi ka magtatagal in the trading industry. And especially in our industry na sobrang high ng attrition rate, so parang almost 1% lang yung nagiging profitable. You really have to do everything you can. And if that's, reading other books, like what Bro Thomas said, do it. If that's, having an actual process, having an actual routine, having an edge by backtesting it, you really have to put in the work kasi hindi madali mag-trade, guys. Hindi madali mag-trade. And it won't get easier, okay? So you really have to keep showing up every single day and putting in the work. And hopefully, one day you'll become a consistently profitable trader, and we will be here rooting for your success. Ayan lang.
Yan, solid.
Bear, final message?
Sige. Something to add lang din, sa sinabi ni Jed. Okay, sige, embrace the process. Pero tanungin mo din yung sarili mo kung talagang gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Like, gusto mo ba talaga mag-trade? Passion mo ba talaga yung markets? Gusto mo ba makita yung interconnection ng markets? Meron ka ba talagang disiplina? Kaya mo ba mag-create ng disiplina in trading the markets, most importantly? Hindi lang kasi yan about the knowledge eh. Hindi lang siya yung tipong, kunyari, alam ko na yung setup ni Jed. Pucha, na ako, 1 million trader na ako. Hindi ganun yun. Na siya, kailangan ng training, skin in the game, and time. Most importantly, time. Kasi, ako, tagal ko na nagtitrade. Since 2016, late 2016. May mga times na mahirap talaga, may mga times na challenging. Like, idadoubt mo yung sarili mo na, putik, di ako kumikita 2 buwan, 3 buwan. Ano ba yung ginagawa kong mali? Yun na yung tanong ba't hindi ako kumikita? Yun na yung tanong. So, gawin mo, mag-journal ka, aralin mo yung pagkakamali mo, tanggapin mo yung pagkakamali mo, and then refine your process. Learn more, and baka may mga hindi ka pa alam na pwede mo ma-improve yung process mo and whatnot. So, yun. Final message ko, tingin ko, siguro, ano ba? Be healthy, most importantly, no? Kasi kung hindi ka naman healthy, like ako, personally, nung nag-start ako mag-trade, tumaba talaga ako. Eto, si Jed, bata pa to Hindi pa Si Toma, active naman. So yun, more of alagaan yung health nyo and don't sacrifice your health para lang sa trading. Yun. So, eat your daily vegetables, drink your vitamins, hydrate, and
Tama. Yun yung inaantay ko.
Train and exercise. So, yun yung final message ko. Para tumagal ka sa larangan na to.
Yun. Tama sabi ni Bear, trading is you can treat it as a hyper-performance sport. Diba? Dapat on point yung utak mo and hindi pwedeng parang strong body, strong mind. Strong body, strong mind. Which is why, importante yun yung health pagdating sa trading. So, final message from me. Dapat ikaw na yung last, Ben. Ganda nung kay Bear. Pero yun, hopefully we can see you guys at the Investa Summit. And of course, thank you for joining us in our live charting session this Sunday evening. Diba? And siguro, message ko is, nilipas din yung bear market. No? So, I've spoken to some people na parang, pucha, 2 years na walang nangyayari. Nilipas din yan. Ako, I started sa markets 2018 and I've been through a good amount of cycles, no? Not a lot, pero may bull, may bear. Nilipas din yan at some point. But as mentioned nga by Jed, by Bear, kailangan you have your skin in the game. Dapat you're exposed in the markets to be able to take advantage of any future opportunity. Kasi the moment you're not there, talo ka na. Diba? So I guess that's my final message. And again, bro Jed, thank you for your time, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
You,
hopefully maulit natin to.
Definitely. Really enjoyed as well.
Yun, salamat. And to all of the fans of Jed for joining us sa live charting session. Shout out sa inyo. Yun, maraming salamat. And yeah, I think that's a great way to end everything. So, ayun. Stay safe, stay hard, put in work, and Godspeed sa markets. And we'll see you guys again next week for another live charting session. So maraming salamat everyone. Good night. And ayun, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings.
Okay, ingat. Bye-bye.
Alright, so
Good evening,
we'll end the
guys.
stream here.